Hi, everyone. So, who's autistic this week? Nobody asked. Well, I will tell you my opinions from the current cast of Big Brother US. From who's left, I mean, of the current cast. Um, there's so many, in my opinion. So, Barrett, I think, is autistic, and this is based on um like a multitude of observations about somebody, not just like one thing, but I think it's Barrett. I think Mallory for sure, Melody, Rick Devens, Angela, Dee, Taylor, and um mean girl Haley. Oh, she's so mean. So that's who I think is autistic. Um I'm curious if anybody else sees that or whoever's like out there watching Big Brother who happens to be a fan like I am. Um, you know, Haley is so fucking mean. Ooh, she just makes me want to punch her. Like dude, everything that you're saying about other people is like what you're fucking doing, you mean girl. So fucking gross. Get your ass into therapy. And so far, who I'm hoping gets far in the game are what they're calling the icons because I am definitely on Angela's side. Like when she was in her first season, I was like, girl, you should not be like calling somebody crazy eyes like that. I did not like that whole thing. And then I was like, you were definitely like in meltdown downy mode. And who hasn't like done cringy shit like that before? But I really hope to see those three go far. Um, I'm like a big Melody fan. Has anybody been watching? I won't like go into like specifics because I don't want to give stuff away or whatever. And plus, there's plenty of you out there who don't give a shit about this show. So sorry that you're listening to this. But Melody is like, ooh, I am like totally in her corner. She is like, oh, I so admire her because you know that she wanted to lose her shit on that mean girl. And for a multitude of reasons, she decided that wasn't a good idea for her. But man, like, I can't believe that she exercised that amount of control, having to live around somebody that's miserable, or who's that miserable, what is what I meant to say. Because Haley is such a bitch. Sorry. I say everybody's a bitch, and for me, bitch has many meanings, but you know which one I mean for Haley. Like, don't be such an asshole. God. You know what though? That might have been me. I always say that I really feel like I would have been a villain. I know I would have been a villain. I probably would have been a Haley. So maybe some of that is like, ugh, that's probably what I would have become. But good thing I didn't go on those shows or apply or anything like that. Cause that shit follows you around forever. But on the other hand, there are plenty of people who I've watched over the years, like on these kinds of shows, who seem to have gotten themselves some therapy, some better perspectives on stuff, and they don't act like that no more, because people change and grow if they allow themselves to. So, but anyways, also another gripe I have about this show is get more older people on. Like, what? No offense to anybody who's like in their 20s listening. I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm in my 40s. And there have been older people on this show before. Like, I love Lala. I love her. Like, that bitch is like 58. What? She don't look no 58 years old. Not that I think 58 needs to look a certain way, so maybe I shouldn't have said it like that, but like get older people on this show, like get a variety. There's just like a bunch in their 20s. And you know what's sad is I typed in what was I typing in? Something about the cast. When before the show started, I wanted to see like who the cast was going to be, and I didn't think to go to like the website to check. So I just typed in current cast of like BB whatever the season is, and up popped I think it was like a People article. about who it was. And I remember the only thing I really remember from that article when I was like learning about the cast members was that they would list the younger cast people's the castmates, what are they called? Whatever, contestants, I don't know. They would list their ages if they were in their 20s, but like Angela, Devon's, like the older contestants didn't have their ages listed. And I was like, are you fucking serious? Either list everybody's age or fucking don't. Like, what's the big deal? Why, like, age is a fucking number. Like get older. I would like to see some more late 30s, 40s, like get a variety of people. Stop just going for like younger people. Like, I'm kind of sick with that. Sick of that. I used to watch Dancing with the no. Ew, no, no, no. That was not even a slip. What was that show called? Fuck. So you believe you can dance. Was that the name of it? Or so you think you can dance. Yep, I think that was it. I was obsessed with that show for years. Mia Michaels was like my favorite. Another choreographer, I think her name was like Sonia. I primarily watched for the choreographers because I thought that I was like, wow, I can't believe you can memorize this shit, that you have the patience to teach people how to do this. And then on top of that, just like the fact that people can dance, like it was just such an art, all those different art forms of dance, art forms, whatever you call them. Years I would watch that. Nigel Lithgow, I think Mary was the other judge. Then there was like rotating judges that they would have. And I was constantly blown away week after week that like all of these dancers can memorize these moves, can like, and sometimes for an episode they would have to learn three different routines. I was like, wow. And that you can do all that stuff with your body and that you're able to communicate like via music and movement. It was just fascinating to me. And I couldn't get enough of it. And all of a sudden, a new season of it comes on. I don't remember. This was like what, 5, 6 years ago, I think. And I'm so excited, and I sit down and I watch the first 10 minutes of the episode, and I'm like, where's Nigel? Where's Nigel Lithgow? And I'm looking some stuff up online, and they fucking got rid of him. And it was like kind of murky as to like what the reasons were. Did he leave? Did his contract end? Did they fire him? And after like doing enough research, I surmised that it was because he was what they considered old and didn't appeal to like the younger demographic that they were going for. So they fucking got rid of him as a judge. And then there were other things I was noticing about that episode. I was like, no, you didn't. What the fuck show is this? This isn't even the same show as it was last season. Like, what are you fucking doing? And I instantly shut it off, and I've never watched it since because I was fucking pissed. Like, gross. So tired of ageism. Is that the right word? But anyways, gonna move on. So I couldn't be bothered to do an episode last week because I am obsessed with going out and hiking, I suppose, every day. Am I becoming a hiker? Who maybe. I don't want to, but maybe. So I haven't missed a day, maybe one because there were thunderstorms and I'm not trying to get struck by lightning. But I've been out every single day. And I'm probably going to skip today because I have a knee injury from when I broke it as a kid. And turns out, like, it's just, I'm in my 40s. And I guess if you do too much on that knee and you don't take recovery breaks or whatever, it swells up and it's annoying. So I might have to just skip today for the first time. But I've just been going hiking every fucking day, and it's been amazing. Yesterday I did 6.6 miles. That's the longest I've ever done, and my knee was like really fucked. Well, no, it wasn't really fucked up. It was just swollen, and I knew that like I was going to push it more than I should, but I really wanted to get to a certain point on this hike. So basically, I've been doing the Erie Canal Way, and I've been doing like sections of it. And then like a few days ago, I find out that the term section hiker is an actual term hikers use to describe like doing parts of like this of like a huge miles long trail or something. I didn't even know that. So I've done 3 sections of the Erie Canalway. I don't know how many total there are, but there's 36 miles. And the 3 sections I've done amount to no more than like 9 miles, 9.5 miles maybe. So there's many more to go. But every day I would like I've been picking a different section to do. Sometimes I would do two of them. Yesterday I just did the third one, and that in itself was a total of 6.6 miles. Uh-oh. Hold on. Come on. Up you go. There you go. Mr. Soul Kitty needed to get to his throne. Um, but yeah, so like that's what I've been doing every fucking day. And I have taken 0 anti-nausea pills. It's fucking weird that I haven't taken any of those. And I've been learning more about my body and like what I can tolerate. And I really feel like it's because I don't allow my heartbeat to go boom, 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 like to speed up. Because as soon as that happens, it triggers the pot stuff and like the nausea, and I'm just done. So, I haven't really been like it's been weird to be able to like do these miles long just hikes, and I'm just walking, walk, 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 and it must be something in my last name because my last name is Walker. So it's destined. It's destined that I'm just gonna walk until my legs fall off because that's what I've been doing every fucking day. And like nature is awesome, and I bring binoculars with me so I can look. I was gonna say lurk, but I meant look at like the birds, and I've seen turtles in the canal. Um, and I've had to get some extra accessories because I'm out of shape. Um, I have dyspraxia and POTS, and I just need to make sure that like I keep myself functioning when I'm out in the wild. So, um, I've got my neck fan that I talked about before. I've had these compression gloves. I think are they called fingerless gloves? I don't know what the term is when some of your finger pops through, but not all of it. But they're compression gloves. Whether or not that actually helps with the swelling, I think it does. Maybe it's partly placebo. I don't know how well those actually help with like swelling hands, but I've noticed a bit of a difference because when I was initially starting out, I didn't have them, and my hands just looked like fucking sausages. And then I was like, why? So I'm having to do all this research about, oh, you have to like, wear some gloves, or some people use those hiking poles because your hands need movement too, otherwise blood pools. And I'm like, this is annoying. And what else? I had to get a knee brace the other day because of the knee I told you was like acting up. And this knee has always like acted up every so often, but I've been putting a lot of stress on it with just all the walking. So, and I've never gotten a knee brace before, so that was my first time, and really helps. So I've got that. Um I just got a lot of stuff to help my body get through these walks, and they're not like always brutal, but like I don't know, they kind of are a little bit, but not in a bad way. And I'm still doing all of these on my own. I found all of these different parking lots for these like different sections on my own, which is like a big deal for me because I don't go to new places. And I just keep going to new places. It's crazy. Like, who am I? Oh, and you know what I did last week? Um, I did my first video and I posted it on Substack. If you want to go find me on Substack, I got my link somewhere wherever this show stuff is for whatever. You just scroll down a bit. I did a video while I was out walking. It was weird, but I felt like inspired. I was like, "Oh, look at me out here by myself. I have to tell people." Um, so that was weird, but I am getting into better shape. I could go on and on about this, but I'll stop there. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing just about every single day. And speaking of Substack, for anybody who's on Substack, or I don't know, for what it's worth. So, I don't know, was it like a month ago? Substack released. this uh, AI detector tool thing where like it's able to, not that it does it well in my opinion, but apparently it's this tool where you check an article either you wrote or somebody else wrote, and it scans it for AI, and it tells you what percentage is human and what percentage is like AI. I was fucking floored. I was like, Substack, are you fucking serious with this bullshit? Because it's a writing platform, for anybody who doesn't know. Like, why the fuck would you do this? And so, oh, I need to take a drink of something. Hold on. I'm getting a parched mouth. Um, but anyways, all this talking. So I was instantly pissed because, like, I don't know a lot about technology, anyways. But like, now you got this fucking tool that I didn't ask to be there, and so I was like, okay, what are you gonna say about my writing? So the first time I checked it, it said 100% AI. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You stupid little fucking bot. And I remember staring at the screen like, what? And then having these negative thoughts about Substack because I moved to Substack a few years ago because I wanted to try my hand at writing. I wanted to build a community of other late identified autistic people, neurodivergent people. And at the time, it was like an up and coming platform. People were like talking like really positively about it. And like then there's just different shit I'm hearing about the owner slash owners. I don't know who the fuck owns Substack, but that they're not making the best choices in a lot of our opinions who utilize this platform. And this AI tool is like one of them. So I played along with it. I'm not gonna lie. I was, because my instant thought was like, this is my fucking reputation. Like, how dare you introduce this inaccurate fucking tool? And but I operated out of fear, which is what I'm learning is still like, it seems to be just like a default I have for some situations, and I don't like that about myself. So I've figured that out again, like, oh, I need to stop like operating out of fear, and I need to be more aware of when I'm actually doing that. So I played along with this fucking thing, and I was able to figure out that if I changed like a word or like a couple of places of punctuation, all of a sudden it shows 100% human wrote this post. I was like, what kind of shit is this? But in my mind, I was like, you know what? Like, fine. If that's what it's going to take for this to come across as like authentic, or that it shows if people click it. I played with the fucking game. I ended up being like disgusted with myself. It changed a bit of how I wrote because I've made those tweaks that I would never normally make. And I had to do some evaluation. I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore because it's changing how I approach this shit. And I don't like the thoughts that I'm having. I don't like the frustration I'm having to deal with this stupid fucking bot telling me that my words that I wrote out of my fucking brain are not human. So it defeats the whole purpose of the fucking tool. And then I did read a few posts that other people did about this tool. And I'm a little embarrassed to say, like, they're really good posts, but they go above me as far as like comprehension. Like, I don't understand like the ins and the outs and the layers of this kind of technology. It's just, I don't understand. So last night what happened was, because like I was hearing things about, oh, like every so often the model itself changes because they keep fucking with it. So then I was checking prior posts that I did a couple of weeks ago. All of a sudden the scores came back as AI. I'm like, what? And the post that I have ready to go for this week I wrote last week. So I checked the tool to see, are you still saying that it's 100% human? No. In the one that I had today, it said 8% human. I was like, what the fuck? And I had like a meltdown last night. And then I beat myself up and I was like, What the fuck is wrong with you? Like buying into this and playing along with this because, you're that afraid that people aren't going to believe you. And so I have a lot of fucking work to do on myself still. I always feel like I say that, but I had enough last night and I'm like, fuck this. I was like, fuck this. I'm not playing with this stupid thing anymore. I guess like people who know me. People who find me and they see that I disabled my AI detector can think what they want. I just have to be okay with that. They can, how dare Substack do this? And they sit there and they put out posts about how this is innovative and we just have to accept that AI is a part of our life now. And you know what? There's positive shit about AI. I use it for questions. Like I've talked about that plenty of times before. If I have questions, and I don't have the time to do all of the research I want to do, I'll fucking ask a bot like, "Hey, I don't, just random questions." And it'll tell me the answer and then it'll provide like links for me to go and like so, it does that for me. I appreciate that. But like you can't sit there and say, well, it's here, we're just going to have to force it on you and it is what it is. No, you need to give people a choice, and the only choice Substack is giving right now is you can disable the AI detector. You don't have to use it, you don't have to let like readers use it, but then that comes with like some sort of like underlining, or I don't know, underlying assumption or wonder like, well, did she disable it because she is using AI to write and doesn't want people to know? And I'm like, at this point, I can't fucking worry about that shit anymore. People are going to think what they want to think. And at the same time, there are people who use AI to write. And I'm not faulting them for that. If that's what helps them, if like they're upfront about that and they let people know like, hey, I use AI assisted tools or whatever, that's okay. That's their choice, no problem, I don't care. But like I guess I care if like when it comes to me, like I don't write like that. It just sounds like I'm judging people now and I'm not. Look what this shit's doing. So what I ended up doing was I disabled it, and I just told people in my chat thingy that like, hey, like I'm just not gonna do this anymore. And then I was surprised by some of the comments that I got that other people kind of feel similarly. And I didn't know that. And then I'm like, man, I really need to talk to people more often and not just like, get in my head and stay there and judge myself and get pissed off at everybody. And then somebody was like, does this mean like we move to another platform or something like that? And I've been thinking about like, what other platforms are there for me to move to that don't eventually end up getting fucking corrupted in some way? And I don't know what other better word to use than corrupted, but like when I started out on Substack, it wasn't this. And now, like, I hear shit about how they're fucking with the algorithm to benefit certain publications, and whether or not that's true, I don't know, but there's enough people saying the same thing? And then this AI tool just is kind of there now against my will. This I did not get onto Substack to have you analyze my writing for this bullshit. So what are you fucking doing? Whose pockets are you in? What kind of money are you getting? Because it's got to have, like, at the end of the day, this has to have something to do with money, in my opinion. I'm really just irritated with people. What platform can you fucking trust anymore? And then I'm like, I've left some platforms, but then I'm also leaving communities that I'm a part of, that I have found that are good for my mental health despite the overall platform that they're on. It's just a mind fuck sometimes. So I don't know. I'm curious, like, what are people's opinions of this stuff? What do you guys think? Like, have you found other platforms? Like right now, let me just go through the platforms that I'm on. Not that anybody asked me to. I'm not on a lot. Um, Let me see. Blue Sky. I don't really I have there's people that I talk to on there, and that's mainly why I'm there. And I post like dumb shit every day that nobody really reads, but I stay on Blue Sky because I get news that way. I have some friends on there. I haven't really heard anything negative about Blue Sky, but at the same time, it's not like I'm looking for articles about it. So I don't know what the status of that is. Last I heard, it was like the better alternative to fake Twitter. Um, I'm on Instagram. I post dumb shit on there. And I have several friends that like I chat with on there that it's just, like I keep up with. So, and and by friends, what I mean is like there are people that I talk to that are pretty much just only on those platforms. They're not on any other platforms. So that's why I stay there. And that's why they stay there. I did LinkedIn for like a while, but I kind of just abandoned that because it just seemed like so serious and people were always like messaging me about, just work and like boring shit and just it's not really my vibe. So I kind of gave that up for now. Um and I did have people that I talked to on there, but they're also on the other a lot of them are on the other platforms that I'm on. So I was okay with like leaving that. I need to take another sip. Hold on. Okay. Um, Quora, I kind of gave up on that one. In Reddit, I gave up on those because I was like, not really much community that I could find, and I'm not really into the formats of those. I was just posting things in case people found it helpful, but so and Reddit, I haven't heard very good things about, but whatever. I know people use it. Threads, I have like lots of people that like there's a good community over there that I'm a part of. I love it. And I post dumb shit on there, but I'm on Threads quite a bit. Like I like talking with people on there and I don't really plan on giving that up even though it's part of the whole, Facebook bullshit. I'm not on Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook for years. Um Substack, I don't want to leave that right now. I have no plans to because um there's like a huge community a community of people like me on there. I don't want to leave. It's good for my mental health. Um I don't want to like stop talking to these friends that I've made and reading their stuff. Like I'm not leaving. But I think that's all I'm not on a ton of platforms. I think that's all that I'm on right now. Um Yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like it's just sorry for being repetitive, but I just feel like constantly at odds with myself about being on some of these platforms, but definitely not agreeing with like their overall like they're just in the pockets of evil dick and other monsters and it's just all fucking gross and I don't know what to think of it. And I could just get off of all platforms, but then I have no community and I don't that would not leave me in a very good place mental health wise. So, anyways, so that's where I'm at with those. Was there anything else? I think that's all I had to say for today. Um, I really am curious what you guys think about any of this stuff. And I hope there was something autistic in this episode besides myself. And I also wanted to thank you guys for listening, even though the majority of you I don't talk to or hear from, but it means so much to me that you listen to my nonsense. So like, thank you. I really hope it's beneficial in some way. Um And I'm just going to end this now because I'm just repeating myself over and over again, which is what repeating means, in case you didn't know. Okay, I got to go. Thank you for listening. Bye.